Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma.
Sir, can you start the record?
I started, ma.
Oh, okay, sorry, sir. Sorry.
Not yet started. I already gave the.
Yeah, yes, sir. It started. It started. Sir.
So in the last class we discussed about what is driver and what is stub. Today we are going to discuss about that integration testing. So the driver and stub is very important uh, here, because based on that only we are going to integrate the modules. In integration testing, why we need to go for integration testing? The first step is unit testing. After unit testing, in validation activity, so the unit testing generally by developer, once they completed their module, that module has to be integrated with the some other modules. For that, some functionality they may use either uh, that module can be a parent or child, whatever it is, that should be integrated with the some other one. So after integration, whether it is working properly or not, you want to evaluate it after integration, each and every module, how it is working. Because sometimes the integration problem will arise. We may not called the parameter properly, or we may not used the parameter properly. So that time the integration problem will occur. So for that we need to do a testing, integration testing. So this integration testing exposes inconsistency between the modules, such as improper call or improper return sequences. Sometimes the data can be lost while integrating. Okay, so that and all we need to check properly, and we may not get a desired results. That means expected outputs. Maybe individually it will work fine, but while after integration we may not get a proper output. So it may be due to some reasons that has to be identified. And then data type and their valid ranges may be mismatched. Somewhere it may be integer, somewhere it may be a float, somewhere it may be a double. So due to that some problem will come, so that has to be identified. So such kind of issues we need to rectify through integration testing. That is the reason why we are doing integration testing rather than directly going for a instead of going a system testing. In this three method is there. One is decomposition method, another one is call graph based integration, third one is path based integration. Okay, so these things are very important. Whether we are going to follow the decomposition or call graph or path based. So decomposition techniques. So what we are going to do here in the decomposition techniques, it can be an incremental model or non-incremental model. In that we have several type. One is top down, bottom up, sandwich. In the top down we are having a method called depth first and breadth first searching. I hope you remember that depth first searching and breadth first searching, which you studied in your data structure and algorithm concepts. Okay, so based on that methodology, they are going for a top down testing. So this is the what we are going to discuss in decomposition based. Coming to the call graph, just pair-wise testing and neighborhood testing we are going to do. Path-based testing is a general model. So we will see one by one. First we will discuss about a decomposition technique. Okay. Before that, just general practical approaches in this. There is no single strategy adopted for industry practice. For integrating the modules, one cannot rely on a single strategy, so it may differ. So the combined strategy, it will be better. So the combined strategy means it's a sandwich approach. I will explain one by one what is a sandwich approach and all. So coming to the decomposition technique, as we discussed, here we are going to do the top down, bottom up and sandwich. So what are all the models available in integration testing is, one is non-incremental, and decomposition based testing is, one is non-incremental, another one is incremental. What is non-incremental? It may not be a level by level. It may not be a level by level. All the modules are same. There is a no driver, there is a no steps. So every module has a single block. Everyone is an independent one. There is a level, not there is no level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3. There is no hierarchy. So all the things can be maintained a single one. So while combining all the things together, we can see what will be the results. But coming to that incremental model, generally people will prefer incremental model rather than going for a non-incremental model, because some, while decomposition, generally people will prefer that level by level. Okay, that is the one of the best model. So people will prefer only incremental model. In this incremental model, three types are there. One is top down, another one is bottom up, another one is sandwich. First we'll see what is top down and bottom up, and sandwich is the hybrid model of top down and bottom up. So top down testing. So what is the top down testing? For example, this is the module A. We can take it as module A. From module A, we are going to have two another modules, or we can call it as A is an system. From that, we are going to create n modules. This is B, this is C, for example. Okay, so in this from B, we may have another module. It may be E. Similarly here, okay. So here the A, B, C, E, F. A is the integrated one. Okay. B, C, E, F. So now E may have some information, F may have some information, and that has to be interconnected. Okay, so in the C and B, F is interconnected with the C, E is interconnected with B, and finally all the things are interconnected with the A. So now if we are going for a top-down approach or bottom-up approach, top-down approach means first A, so that will be decomposed into level 0. So which is level 0 here? What are all the nodes are in level 0?
BC.
Yes, B, C are in level 0. Which are all the nodes in level 1 is E, F. Or we can take it as a level 0 as a, B, C is the level 1, E, F is the level 2. Right. So in this way we can go. So here if we are going for a depth first search or breadth first search, I hope you remember that depth first search, the concept. What is the depth first search concept? Suppose A. What is the depth first search concept means what will be the path? First A, next where it will check, B or C? First it will goes to left hand side. So first B will check. So once B is over, then E is over, then C, then F. If it is a depth first search, A, B, E, C, F. This is the way the element will be checked. But if it is a breadth first search, first A, then B, then C, then E, then F. So you see the flow. First it will take level 0. Any depth first or the breadth first. First it will take level 0. If it is the depth first element is the left hand side. So B. So once it is completed the left hand side, then only the depth. If suppose after E, if you have any other element, after E, if you have any other element, that element also be taken E, F. So in this case, first depth first search means A, B, next E, next G. So once left hand side completely over, then only it will goes to right hand side, C and F. Okay, but first search means first A, next B, then it will check any other in that same level. Yes, C. So C, then it will goes to level, next level, E, F, and finally G. This is the way generally search. So in this same way we need to integrate it. First we need to integrate the left hand side, A, B, after that E, G. So while this side it is working perfectly, then we need to go for a right hand side. This is called depth first search method in top down approach. But for search ABC, BC, E, F, and G. This is the but first search. So in this way we need to do in the top down approach. So both depth first or but first it's under top down approach. So here if you want to execute A, first we need to complete G, E, B, then only we can combine together. Similarly, if you want to do that, F, C, A. So finally we need to combine all the things. So this is the integration testing in top-down approach. If I am coming to the bottom-up approach, first G, then this module. So next we'll check with the G whether working with the E. Then we'll check E is dependent with B. So they will combine G, E, B. Similarly, F, C. And finally they will combine with the A. This is the bottom-up approach. Which will be better, bottom-up approach or top-down approach? Which will be a better one? Generally, I hope you all know what is top down and what is bottom up. Generally, which methodology will be good, top down or bottom up? Forget about integration testing. Which will be in a better one? Okay, as of mine, top down is a better one rather than going with the bottom up. But here you see that top down approach discovers errors in high level design, but and then it detects errors at the early stage. But high level design is validated at a later stage. So that's what I said. If we are identifying the error in the early stage, that will be better than identifying the error in the later stage. This is the one reason why I said top down is best. Another is, since we integrate the modules from top to bottom, the high level design slowly expand as a working system. Therefore, feasibility of the system can be demonstrated to the top management. So easily the top management can understand the feasibility. But it may not be possible to show the feasibility of the design because you have started from the bottom. You are checking that whether it is working properly or not. And finally, when the results comes, if you are going for the higher level, that time maybe the people may not, top level management may not implement that. So I may not be, it may not be possible to show the feasibility of the design. If some modules are already built or reusable, that may be possible to produce some kinds of demonstration. Just we can experiment it, but we can't define the, say that whether it is feasible or not, because one of the very important thing in software testing is feasibility study. So that after implementation, if you are checking the feasibility study, that is also a mistake. And node 1, stubs are required for the subordinate modules. Yes, stubs are required for the subordinate modules, and here test drivers are required for the superordinate. So uh, the totally it will be in a different order. So to test the lower order module first and checking that next level may not be effective one. That's what I said, that top down testing is a better one. What is sandwich testing? One side, to reduce the time, one side people should start from the top level, other side people should start from the bottom level. That means in the middle case, we will have some demonstration. We will completed our feasibility study. In the same time, we will have some demonstration. So that's why many companies prefer demonstration testing, sandwich integration testing. This combined approach is sometimes known as sandwich integration testing. This is the people following, because the reason is many people want to complete the project as soon as possible, and priority and availability. So they are in a very urgent, and at the same time, they are expecting the results in the right time. So if you follow top down or if you follow bottom up, that may not give a that may take some much time to complete that. So instead of that, if you follow sandwich, one certain people are working from bottom up, certain people are working from top down, then finally it will be combined together to produce the to make a defective testing or to define a defective testing. So that is the reason why people are preferring sandwich. If you have any doubt in this, do you have any doubt in this? Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Next method is call graph based integration. This is under path testing. This is under path testing. Call graph based integration, and sorry, this is here we need to go for pairwise or neighborhood. Here we need to go for pairwise or neighborhood. So which are all the pair here in the diagram? Which are all the pair?
The line connecting two nodes.
Pardon?
Two
Can
nodes by which a line is connecting, sir.
Can you tell me that node number, the pair node?
For example, 1 and 11, sir.
1 and 11 are pair node.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 1 and 11 is pair node means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also a pair node, right? If I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right. Actually, these are all the adjacent nodes, or we can in this. So a call graph is a directed graph because we need to define that by the flow. So for that we are using a directed graph. Right. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 10 are the adjacent nodes of 1. That means next node to that 1. Similarly, we need to identify wherever the connectivity is there. So connectivity is there, that this is a pair node, as she said. So 1 and 10, there is a connectivity. So these two are pair. 1 and 11 is a connectivity. So these two are pair. Okay. So similarly, if I want to pair with 7, is it possible to pair with 7, 1 and 7? So 5, 1, 5. If I can need to connect with the 7, I have to go for a 1, 5, 7. This is the way I can traverse or travel to reach the 7. So in this call graph, first we need to, which is going to call which one? 7 is going to call 5 or 1? 7 will be called by 5 or 1 as per this graph.
5.
Yes, 7 will be called by 5. That 5 will be called by 1. If I executed the line, if I execute the module 1, will 7 will execute or not? If I execute module 1, whether the module 7 will be executed or not? Are you able to understand my question? Yes? Are you able to understand my question, or shall I repeat again? Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes? Are you in the line?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please answer for the question. If I executed module 1, will module 7 will be executed or not? Will be a part of module 1 or not? Or we can directly, I can ask this. Module 7 will be a part of module 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Not directly, but indirectly, module 7 will be a part of module 1. Will that 7 will be a part of module 10?
No, sir.
No.
No relation between 7 and 1. So there is a relations between 7 and 1, but there is no relations between 7 and 10. So this and all we need to check. These are all the pairs. So which has to be paired, which has not to be paired, that we need to identify in this call graph. So coming to that pairwise integration, that is why I asked. So which are all pair? 111, 110. This is the pair. Similarly, 1,5 is the pair. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 is the pair. The adjacent nodes are pair. But if you are going for 7 and 10, it's a pair, means definitely it will not be in a pair. Coming to the neighborhood integration testing. So we need to identify which are all the neighbors. For 1, which are all the neighbors? Who are all the neighbors of 1? That means adjacent to 1. 2,
2, 3, 4, 11,
yeah,
10,
3,
5.
4, 5, 10, 11. Am I right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11. These are all the successor. For 1, there is no predecessor. So what about 5? 2. For 2, predecessor is 1. There is no successor for 2. Am I right? Any successor for 2?
No, sir.
3,
No, sir.
4, no successor. Only predecessor is there. The predecessor is 1.
1.
What? Yes. What about 5?
Yes, sir. We are having 6, 7, 8, and
6,
further.
7, 8 is a successor. 1 is the predecessor. Right? Am I right? So wherever the successor is there, that node will be considered. Rest of the nodes we are not going to consider. Okay. So which are all the sync nodes? Which are all the sync nodes? The node which has successor, that node is a sync node. The node which has the successor, that node is a sync node. The node does not have any successor, that is a general node. So here, how many nodes are sync nodes? How many nodes are general nodes? Can you tell me that what are all the nodes are having sync nodes or successor? Huh? Which are all the nodes are having successor?
1, 5,
1,
8,
1,
9,
5, 1, 5, 10,
8, 9, 10,
8, 9.
12, 13, 14, 15, sir.
Yes. 1, 5, 8, 9, 11, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 10 nodes are having successor. So these nodes are sync nodes. So you see here, rest of the nodes are general nodes. So totally 20 nodes are there. Out of 20 node, here in the neighborhood table, you see that neighborhood table, only 10 nodes are there. What are the nodes? 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I hope you understand which node as a sync node, which node as a general node. Any doubt on that? So neighborhood is 10 neighborhoods, 20 minus 10, 10 neighborhoods. So that means we need to combine 10 times. So finally we'll get a integrated one. Finally it will be integrated one. So we need to integrate the neighbors 10 times. So total session in neighborhood integration is 10 times. Are you clear?
Sir, we had seen only 9 sync nodes, no, sir. In
9 sync nodes. What are that? 1,
yes, sir.
5, 8,
Yeah, yes, sir.
9,
Yes, sir.
11, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Sir, how can 11 will be a sync node, sir? There is no
You
success.
see that 11 to 12 and 12 to 18.
Okay, fine, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. 10 sync nodes.
Yes. Are you clear? Any doubt on this? Without doubt, please. So next is path-based one. So for path-based one, we should know the source node, we should know the sync node, and we should know that the execution path. Execution path may be a module message path or module message path graph. So that's what source node, we know that. So how many source node in the unit A? In unit A, how many source nodes are there? Excuse me. Source node is nothing but how the sources nodes are available. How many nodes are available in unit A?
5.
5, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is okay. Right. Here they mention source node is 1, comma 4. Why they mention source node is 1, comma 4? Very simple. Here you see that that diagram. This is for integration testing. This diagram for integration testing. Unit 1, sorry, unit A. Okay, so generally we note what we said, that if you are passing any instruction, then that node is called as a sync node. Okay, as per the call graph method, that neighborhoods. So all the other nodes are called as nodes. Here, from which node we are passing a value to that unit B. For unit B, from unit A to unit B. You see that
1
link?
and 4, sir.
Yes, 1 and 4. We are passing value. We are passing something from unit A to unit B. That is 1 and 4. Okay, so that is the reason why they mention that as a source node. Okay, similarly, for unit C, unit B to unit C, 1 and 5. 1 and 5. So that's what they mentioned source node as a 1, comma 5. Similarly, sync nodes, which is synced with the source node. One is synced with 3. So that is what you see, that diagram. 1 comes to 3 and it will goes to that unit B1. So that is what sync node is 3. And similarly 4, 5 as is having a sync. So that is what they mentioned, that 5 as a sync node. Similarly here 4, 6 as a sync node. So I hope you understand this, what is source node in the MM path and what is sync node in the MM path. Do you have a doubt? Did you have any doubt in this? If I want to traverse from unit A to 1, A comma 1, you see that 1, 2, 5, A comma 2, 1 comma 3. So that is the possible paths we are doing. So this is for only understanding purpose. Uh, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Sir, in unit B, why can't we take sync node as even 2, sir? It is 1 is connected even to 2 plus 4 now, sir.
But which is the last node in that? 1,
4,
2,
sir.
4. But that 4 is the last sync node, right?
Okay.
That is the reason. Okay. So that's it, and path-based integration. Just to go through it. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Next class we'll discuss about function testing. If you have any doubt, please.